to our special guests for today. They are two driven entrepreneurs with a story that might feel closer to your own than you might expect. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but I am so excited to welcome Renee Fritsch and Tamim Chaudhry to the stage.
I need the clicker. Okay. So hi, and welcome once again to your student management training. I know a lot of people have welcomed you, but this is your third one. In case you were wondering who's who, I mean, you saw the photos. My name is Renee Fritsch, and I'm a creative strategist and a storyteller focused on creating engaging digital experiences. I'm a senior consultant at Deloitte within their customer and commercial strategy practice. I'm a GA advisor, and I'm a U of T alumni. My career has taken me through many different places. I worked in big tech at Google. I've worked at creative marketing agencies. And early in my career, I even worked at an oil and gas firm. But if I could summarize what I do for you guys really quickly, I just make slides. I make a lot of slides. They're good slides, but they're slides nonetheless. So if any of you need help for your presentations, I'm the guy. My biggest call to fame is being the founder of Closet, a startup that Tamim and I founded back in 2023, where I focus on product design, marketing, operations, and just strategy. I even clean the office some of the days. It really just depends.
My name is Tamim Chaudhry. I'm a senior software engineer at Rad Labs. Before that, I worked at a bunch of bigger companies like Rogers, Equifax, and now I write code at Closet as well.
Amazing. So now you know who you are, but you're probably wondering, why are you here? And some people have alluded to it already, but let's get Tamim here to remind you.
So we're really here for three reasons. The first one is to learn. As you get into your roles at JA, it's good to have industry professionals in that vertical that you can learn from. The second reason is to network. As you sit here, the people to your left and your right, this is an opportunity to meet them, get to know them, and create that network. And then finally, the last reason is to get hype.
Let's go. Okay, fine. You're wondering, I know why we're here, but you're probably wondering, why you two? You know, AI can make slides now. I don't need this guy to teach me how to make a slide. But there's something that we haven't told you guys. Something that Tamim and I have been holding back. The secret here is that we are JA alumni. Wow, okay, we practiced that one. We stood in front of a mirror, we practiced. I'm glad that worked out really well. So we are, I guess I'll go back. We are JA alumni, and we're about to walk you through our 100% real, unedited pitch from back 12 years ago. You see, I was the president of Simplicity, a company that, a company that rids their customers of daily frustrations through innovative, out-of-the-box ideas that promote staying blessed and not stressed.
Didn't work back then, it's not working now.
I don't know, man. I see some people smiling over here. I think they want a box.
Well, if they're gonna get a box, I'll have to make them because I was VP of production. That's me in the bottom left of the screen there, rocking the mustache.
And Tamim, God knows you were rocking it because you're looking as handsome as ever. I'm there with the Christmas hat at the top, President of Simplicity. Now, the next slide that you're about to see is the first slide of our pitch deck. Now, most of you and most companies, what they're going to do is, spoiler. What they're going to do is you're going to try to show, how awesome your company is, but not us. Tamim and I had a different plan for our first slide. We wanted to show people that 60% of our company left for unknown reasons. And those reasons were definitely not because of my job as a president. Right, Tamim?
Hopefully.
Next slide.
The product that we were selling back in the day, 12 years ago, was the Stress Buster. It was essentially a innovative, outside yet inside the box solution to dealing with your stress during exam week. Inside the stress box, there was a stress ball, silly putty, and the best seller was bubble wrap as well.
The bubble wrap went hard, so that was great. Back then we didn't have the meditation apps that you have now, the journaling apps that you have now, so this was our way of coping with it. You know what else we didn't have back then was ChatGPT, because can I get one of you guys to read the first sentence there for me? Do you want to read the first sentence? each person who had any knowledge on anything that was beneficial. That's how we built our product. Enough said.
Another thing we didn't have back then, actually, was faith in our product. Like me especially, I really didn't like the product that we worked on. I remember that this quote at the bottom, if you have no faith in the product, have faith in your ability to sell the product. As Rene was presenting this, he was looking at me.
And I think this is an important lesson to be learned here. Throughout your career, and certainly something that I experienced throughout my career, is you're going to end up doing things that you don't like. You're going to end up working with people that you don't like, roles that you don't like, but your ability to manage that is what's going to help you get the most out of it. You know, at Deloitte, some of my best friends, some of the best relationships that I have now, started with someone that I really clashed with at the beginning of the project and made me want to quit the project. However, in the end, it just led to an immense amount of growth. So it's important to just push through it, stay grounded, and deal with it. And maybe just, Tamim, you can tell them about the results before I start trauma dumping. So,
The results of the project were actually surprisingly good. When we started the StressBox project, everyone put in $20 and we ended up taking out 70. So we sold a lot of StressBoxes, and something I learned there was like, sometimes you have to get on board. Even if you don't like what you're doing, the net result is good if you just tough it out. And so our results were phenomenal, actually.
So now that you know how awesome our company program is, let's walk you through some photos. As a consultant, this slide makes me sick to my stomach. However, you can tell that, I had a passion for building slides even back then, so that's really great. These are the companies that we sold to. BMO is there right in the middle, so thank you, BMO. And we even sold to Rob Ford. A lot of you might not know who that is, but we sold to him a box, and we've got a photo with him. More sides, we had our teamwork side. One of the funny things we have to point out is that we had Facebook back then as our main form of communication. So 12 years from now, who knows what you guys are going to be communicating on? And finally, we have some photos. We have some photos. You see me at the bottom there, and Tamim on the top left. One of the things that I want to point out about this photo is, first, if you look at Tamim on the top photo here, he hated our product. You just look at it. You can also look at me. I think something funny is that in every photo, I'm holding either food or a Coke, not really doing anything, just telling people what to do. So I think the power really got to my head back then.
Yeah, some things never change, Rene. Something I also want to point out too was a production lesson I learned here. Rene actually wrote those information pamphlets at the top of every StressBox. It was just full of spelling errors, and we didn't realize till we printed out 100 and blew the entire budget. So everyone who bought it just got tons of spelling errors for random things.
So this year at your company, remember, please check anything before you buy. Okay, so let's go back to the reasons why we're here. We're here to learn, to network, and to get hyped. Now, for the rest of this presentation, Tamim and I want to make sure that each one of you gets exactly these three things. So that's the most important. So why don't we start with learn? To do this, Tamim and I are going to walk you through our journeys and hopefully be able to teach you a lesson about it. So, starting with me, I've had some incredible opportunities that have come from JA. I was in front of 400 people and got interviewed by David Chilton from Dragon's Den, where I got to tell people about the ability to knock on doors. I got to be featured on TV and Business Casual TV and talk about my JA experience. I've had countless speaking opportunities in the past, but the coolest one was I spoke at the Canadian Business Hall of Fame in front of some of Canada's most influential leaders. At that event, the CEO of ATCO not only decided to fly me out to Calgary, he also gave me my first job at the oil and gas firm. So JA has provided me with incredible opportunities. But I'll tell you this, these opportunities did not just land on my lap or just happen out of thin air. I had to go out and chase the opportunity. What I did is, at the time, I emailed the CEO of Deloitte, I emailed the manager of the program, I asked for these opportunities. When the time came, I showed up and showed off. And that way, I kept getting events. So I was the catalyst for a lot of this happening. And side note here, I don't go out and message Lucia a bunch of emails. She has a lot of work to do. You don't spam her email. But yes, it all starts with you. So you got to position yourself in a way that opportunities can find you. It's about stepping in the driver's seat. Otherwise, you become the passenger, and passengers do not get to pick the destination. Tamim said something really powerful for this part of the speech. He told me, life doesn't come at you, it comes through you. So it's your energy, your drive, It's your effort what's going to get you to become successful. So make sure that you do that. And I'll tell you that as students, you have a lot more leeway to knock on doors than we do as adults. People want to help you out. So be sure to knock on those doors. What is going to happen is over the next 6 months, JA is going to give you a playground. JA is going to give you an opportunity to try new things, to fail, to see what you're good at, and to knock on those doors. The opportunity's there, but it's about what you're going to do with that opportunity. So today I'm going to challenge you to knock on doors. If that door doesn't open, knock again. If it doesn't open, try another door, because one of these days, one door is going to swing open, and you'll be amazed of what's going to happen. So, start building.
I just want to go ahead and talk about also my career, JA in my career, and how it influenced me to become someone who builds things. As I said before, I'm a software engineer, but originally the reason I had joined JA was because I was going to apply for Shoe Lake. And in that extracurricular section, I just wanted to fill it with business-related things, right? So that's why I ended up in JA, but I actually loved the experience, learning about the mechanics of building a business from the ground up, meeting people, learning how important those soft skills like networking was. JA was pivotal in that for me. So although I did get accepted to Shoe Lake, and it was very validating, it was great, I only stayed there for 2 years because I realized it really wasn't for me, because my big passion was actually building things. So I switched over to the Lassonde School of Engineering. It's a comp sci program at York. I finished it and then learned how to build applications theoretically, and built my first one at a startup called BizRing, which was basically just a platform for service providers like plumbers. I did that, then I got my first big job at Rogers. I was a network design engineer, loved it, very cushy, the pay was great, but then I wanted to make sure that I was building and I wasn't stuck in the network side. So then I went to Equifax and I built large-scale solutions for like identity verification and fraud. Did that for a bunch of years. That was great, but the problem with that was that there's a lot of red tape when you build at like a consumer-facing company, and I want to build things fast and I want to deliver instead of spending half my day like writing tickets and trying to get authorization to do things. I wanted to just to do that. So now I work at a startup called Rad Labs where we build Fairy software, and it's great. I'm building every day. So from my career, I hope the one thing I want everyone to learn is to build and to be humble. But furthermore, like there's gonna be times where things go wrong, right? Like people think that your career, if you go down the career route, it's gonna be linear. But in reality, you'll be dodging left, dodging right, and things will be changing all the time. The most important thing is that you adapt, and that after you build things, you look back and you think, well, could have I done this better? And I think that's what distinguishes a good engineer from a great one, is that they keep getting better, and as new tools come out, they keep using them, and they build more. And I think JA specifically is one of the best places to do that ever, because first of all, they create the infrastructure for you to build things, but what's even more important is now with AI, you guys can really hit the ground running and build things that are innovative without having that technical know-how. There will be obviously hard blocks that you'll encounter because AI isn't fully done, but you can now set up a database, and then if you want, you can do that deep dive later, right? So I really encourage you during those next 6 months, build whatever you can, and even if it doesn't look polished, you will learn at the very least.
So let's step into part number two of what we're here today. And we're here to network. And I want to say congratulations, because the person to your right, that's your founder. So you better lock in. You guys better get to know each other. That's going to be your founder in 12 years. So congratulations for that. Tamim and I were together in high school in the debate team, in the school play, and in junior achievement. But after high school, we completely lost touch.
Yeah, Renee went to U of T and I went to York, so after high school we basically stopped talking, but we met up at a friend's barbecue, and when we were talking, I realized, wow, Renee's still really passionate about business and I love building things. And I just want to talk about this text here. This is authentic. This is literally what I sent him. And this is really the power of networking. If you send this to a random person, it's weird. But once you've created that rapport, once you've created that network with that person, a text like this is phenomenal, right? It'll get the ball rolling.
The funny thing here is that Tamim sent me 3 messages, and I immediately sent him 5. I was very desperate to work with someone that was so smart and talented as Tamim that I acted a little desperate. Like, you know when your crush messages you and leaves you on red? That was me right here. So totally left on red. I'm glad, we are where we are now.
Yeah, now, like after this text, I think we met up at my house and it starts on a whiteboard. Like we just started sketching out what we want to build, talking about ideas, and it's some of the most fun you can have with a friend, just building something from scratch. And you're arguing, but it's trivial arguing because it's about a product. And then it turns from like whiteboard sketches to Figma prototypes to like now it's in your hands in an app because we built it together.
So our relationship has flourished into something awesome. So let's quickly move on to the lessons. First lesson is patience.
Yeah, regarding patience, like essentially when you are waiting for your opportunity to come, all you have to be doing is working on your skills, making sure that when the opportunity comes that you're ready, and that's the patience part of networking.
Positivity is more important than you think. When you lead with positivity, success will follow. And this relates to everything that we talked about, the ability to knock on doors, build your networks. It all becomes easier once you lead with positivity. People want to work with you. They want to help you. They're going to remember how you made them feel. So show up as caring, ask questions, be passionate. And that's a way that people will remember you. And they'll remember you even after 4 years of university. So finally, let's get hyped. Tamim and I, in 2023, established Closet. Closet is where your wardrobe meets your wish list. We are a Toronto startup focused on building an innovative and sustainable fashion environment, driven by immersive shopping experiences and built by a community of genuine creators. Our app digitizes and socializes closets to reimagine how people interact with brands, with friends, with influencers, and with clothes.
Yeah, so our vision here is to build a global, community-driven fashion ecosystem where shopping is social, immersive, and sustainable. Our app, like what I built, was essentially, it's a feed that you can scroll down. It has tons of outfit inspiration from like anyone who downloads the app, and then we use AI. It's like an on-edge model that I built that sits on the phone and detects the clothing that they're wearing, and then you can buy it right on the app.
So in essence, this is Google Lens meets TikTok meets Pinterest, and that's our app. Now, this has brought us back all the way to Junior Achievement, and I gotta say, at that email, that message that Tamim sent me, I don't know if you saw, but I said, the JA students inspired me. I've been thinking about you. So JA is what might set the wheels in motion for you to start a company, and this has brought us all the way back. I'll finish off with the one lesson that I was asked early in my high school career. They asked me, what did you learn from Junior Achievement? And I said, if you're marketing your product, if you're selling your product, and someone says no to you, it doesn't mean they don't like you or your product. It means they're just confused. And that lesson we still carry through today with Closet as we look to bring our product to market, to refine our value proposition. People are confused. How can we unconfuse them? So now it's time to, get hyped. Get hyped. Your future awaits. I'm going to tell you to knock on doors.
I'm going to tell you to build and be humble.
I'm going to tell you to show patience and positivity. But most importantly, stay blessed.
Not stressed.
Thank you so much, guys. Oh, yes.
Does anyone have questions for Renee or Tamim?
We're just leaving.
Anybody? You put your hand up, I'll come.
I think you were first. That is a great question. You want to start?
Yeah. So I wish I did JA now as opposed to 12 years ago because of the plethora of tools that are available to you. Like, let's face it, like at the end of high school, you have basic skills, but you're not specialized in anything. There's no real value proposition that you can bring on your own. So that's why we had a stress box, right? We took a box and we filled it with stuff and then we tried to solve a problem. But now with the rise of AI, you guys are actually truly enabled to build whatever you want and like it's in your reach. So if I were to go back to JA now, I would vibe code a ton of stuff and then I would show the rest of the team and have them vote, solicit opinion from that, and then build something that's truly remarkable because I think now is the time. You have the tech.
Yeah, and I would say, it's so easy when you're in JA to just start building and get really excited and want to just like make something with your friends. But one thing is like step back and think of something simple, a simple solution that solves a specific problem. I can't stress that enough because generally, like when I was a student, everyone wanted to build the next Facebook or the next Uber or the next Airbnb. That was the big idea. But sometimes those powerful things are just simple solutions that address a specific problem. So as you're in your early days of JA, you guys just got elected as your VPs, take a step back and think of the problem and give the problem a long think before you jump into solutioning. Any other questions?
How to improve the product without knowing exactly what the market is?
Are you talking about Closet or?
Yeah.
For Closet. No, so for Closet, we did a lot of industry research. So we downloaded every single Closet app that you can imagine. We tested them. We've been through it. We interviewed people. There are platforms out there that you can use to send anonymous surveys, for example, and ask people, what do you think about this problem? What do you think about this solution? And people can provide feedback. So there are many ways to gather collective feedback on the internet to make sure that your idea is solving a specific problem. We have learned many lessons from our Closet journey as well, I would say. Like, we, for example, built features that weren't the key features. So we wasted a bunch of time building things like chat, which nobody's using on our app currently, right? So make sure that as you're solving the product, start with one thing and build from there, as opposed to getting caught up in the whole process, because then it'll just slow down your time to market.
Yeah, just to add on that, like all products, they're finding a gap in the market and then trying to really target a solution on it, right? Like I think, like I realized there was a problem with it when I set a certain amount aside to spend on clothes, and then I get to the mall and it's like super overwhelming. Like you don't actually spend because you look at outfits and you're kind of on the fly trying to decide, do I want this or not? Will this go good with my jeans? You don't know, right? So that's why I think like that's where the idea came from. And then after I gave the idea, Renee took it and did all the research and validated the market for it, right?
I think someone has a mic over there.
Like as head of production, like for you, like when starting out, how did you get around all of like the budget constraints to really get a good amount of products in hand for sale, like in the early stages?
Sure. So this is from 12 years ago, but it depends on the problem space and what your budget is, right? Obviously, it's important that you bring your costs down to as low as you can. So you figure out what is the cheapest way I can do each individual component of my product. And then if you need more budget, then that's a conversation that you have to have with your team, right? Like product is like the most important thing because that's what the consumer takes home at the end of the day. So like, yeah, product is a very, very important role always. And so if you need assistance, whether that's financially or for ideas, communicate with your team and come up with the best solution you can.
As a software engineer, do you ever worry about AI taking over your job?
Yeah, all the time. Like the space has evolved completely. When I started as a software engineer, I was like, oh, there's so much I don't know. This is certainly a 40-year career path, right? There is a level of hype to it. Like everyone says, oh, software engineers aren't going to be a thing. Look, I built this. I one-shot it with AI, right? In reality, as the problem space becomes more complicated, building on top of an existing solution doesn't fit in the context window, even as LLMs get powerful, right? Like an actual code base that's something like 20,000 lines, when you tokenize that, that doesn't fit in their vector, right? So there are ways that they're trying around it, like creating RAG databases and putting different parts of it in like a searchable index. But I think we're at least 5 years away from people completely trying to, like, and that's in best case scenario, right? Like these companies with AI are also running out of budget really fast. So I don't know if we get there, but I do think there are always going to be problems that LLMs are going to stop at. Like it'll get 90% of the way, and you need someone who can absorb the entire code base that was generated and then create the last 10%. So I think there's always going to be a market for really good software engineers, but maybe the people who are doing like simple CRUD, like create, read, update, delete operations, like I think it's going to become a space where if you're not truly passionate about the role and you don't really love building, that cushy lifestyle of it maybe goes away.
Hi, yes. So first off, thank you so much. This is great. As a founder myself, one of the biggest challenges I face isn't only developing the product, but getting the awareness to the people that, hey, this product exists, this is our value proposition. So as someone who doesn't have millions to spend on Instagram ads or reels, for you guys, for Closet, how do you get that organic awareness out there and really improve your product awareness in your own industry?
Yeah, so I'll start by saying this is actually a challenge that all the founders face, and a challenge that Tamim and I are actually currently facing is how do you bring your product to market effectively if we're bootstrapping your company? It's a huge challenge. I say the biggest lesson that we learned really early on is to be very niche in your approach and target a community that is passionate. Start with 3 users, 3 clients that love your product, and slowly start growing from there. The way that you can do this and the way that we've been doing this is we've been attending fashion shows, we've been attending fashion events, we've been going to different networking events for people that are interested in fashion. We're talking about the app, and slowly one person follows us, that's a fan, and we start slowly building from there. We found that that is more effective than, for example, we've been trying like spray and pray on TikTok or Instagram where we're making lots of videos. It's more effective to get one person that is guaranteed to download our app and follow us on Instagram than just creating a lot of content that will take us hours to make or even days that is going to be seen by 5,000 people. So be passionate about the community, have a genuine connection with the community that you're targeting. Like there's no need to fake it, and then bring those people into your team. Like Tamim and I recently brought someone that, I'm business, Tamim is coding, but we're missing that fashion person. So we recently brought a really strong fashion person to our team, and it's really changed the dynamic of how we go to market. So be genuine and start very niche and organic community. Meet them in person.
I just want to jump in here too, right? So some of you might even be solo founders, like you're the only one building this. There is an element of being humble and understanding where your strengths lie and what you're not good at, right? I'm okay at communicating, but I'm not Renee, right? So when I built the app, before I wanted to build an app, I knew that I needed someone who was more public facing. So that is the idea of networking and accessing your network, right? So talking to Renee and then being like, hey, do you know how to blow this up? Because I knew he was in marketing. And also, you have to realize that we age, right? Me and Renee are both 29, turning 30. We're going to be unk soon, right? And this is a real concern in the fashion industry. So what we did is, the people that we bring on, they are Gen Z, right? And they get the trends. They're with it, right? We browse TikTok, but not like you browse TikTok. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is understand your skill set and find complementary people to cover your weak spots, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Ariana. I am the VP of Marketing for my team. And I have a love for marketing and want to get into that as my career path. So as someone who is well versed in that, what do you think is the key to success in a career of marketing?
Tough question. Thank you. I think it all starts with it's a level of care, I would say, caring about the people that you're targeting to. This happens to me at Deloitte all the time, where we're working with clients and we ask, they have millions of dollars in budget, and we've asked them, have you actually gone through your marketing journey yourself? And no one, a team of 100 people, has never actually gone through their marketing journey. So it's important that you take that level of care to understand who you're talking to and build that connection. So my ability to stay here and connect with you and network with you, marketing is that at a broader scale, right? So be positive, care, be genuine, and from there you can start building your marketing experience. There's a lot of technical knowledge, things that you have to know, but I think it all starts with that ability to care and put yourself in the shoes of the customer. So I know it's a very broad kind of answer, but I think that's truly the place to start.
Thank you. We're out of time. We do have to move on to the next agenda item for the day, but Tamim and Renee are around today, so you can go find them and ask questions throughout the day.
And we'll be at the tech breakout, so looking forward to meeting all our tech VPs.
Thanks, guys.